So I'm officially outside, but I have a very major problem. There is a lot of wasps up there. So we're starting today on a job that I'm really excited about. So I've done other work on this property quite some time back, and the structure I'm about to start working on was just starting. They were getting the foundation down as I was doing the other work. I did not do the siding here, but I pass this place all the time. It's on my main route, you know, going to and from Ann Arbor sometimes, and it's an absolutely beautiful structure. And I was kind of jealous of the other siding company that got it originally, but I was recently given an opportunity to do some work on it. So I'll start by showing you the structure. This is my dream barn, and this up here, if I can zoom in, is what I'm repairing. So the weather vane up there, the weather vane is broken, so I got to go up and fix that. They were having some trouble finding somebody willing to head up there, but getting to hard to reach locations is sometimes why I'm called in. I'm equipped for it, and it's something I do quite often. So we're gonna head up and we're gonna see what we're up against. So we are inside the cupola. So we got functional windows, and this is what I plan on working out of. It's the safest way out. I'll be tying off to the inside of the structure, and this is how we're going to get up. Pretty cool view. And a long ways down. So I brought my safety gear for working at heights. I'm going to be tying off. I'm going to be making sure I can do this as safely as possible. I've been going back and forth how I was going to do this necessarily, because I got kids. I don't really want to take any risks, but if I do this right, it's not a risk. So that's what I plan on getting done today. There's some other work I am doing here, but I wanted to tackle this first just because it is the wild card. I don't know, I can't guarantee exactly how long it's going to take, but I'm hoping to have this done in a day. The biggest thing is getting up there. If I can reach it, it's only going to take me maybe 10-15 minutes to do the replacement. But getting up there is all the work. So, that said, let's get started. I stopped by Home Depot earlier. You'll see the little purple marks here. I picked up some cold lumber. I didn't want to spend too much just because it's a temporary structure, but I'm going to build a platform onto the roof. You know, there's that old saying, only the paranoid survive. I'm paranoid about working on standing seam roofs. Some people will throw clamps on the ribs and, you know, let that hold it. I don't know. I don't like taking the risk anymore, and I'm a carpenter, so I'll build my way up. So I got these straps. I'm going to put them over the ridge and see what the span is, but essentially it's going to strap over the ridge, and it's going to hold our platform together. So I'm going to get that, and I'll be right back. This one's really bad, so I'm going to cut that short. just wood, so I'm going to use this. Plates. I'll use this one for top. So we got a bit of this carpet. This is scrap from something. I have no idea what, but I'm gonna lay this over, and that's just gonna help keep it protected. So if I make this good enough, this part in particular, I'll be reusing this, because this will serve me well for other roofs. Carpet on, it's nice to consider making sure you don't damage the surface while you're working on it. Go. And that can go right over the ridge, slip between the ribs. It'll keep everything protected, and it'll give me something solid to attach to. Gonna make another one, and we're gonna head up. Alright, so we're back in the cupola here. I just shoot a couple birds out. I did that before turning the camera on. I could see some bird poop on the ground here, so I didn't really want that to be me. So that was a lot of walking. That's a lot of steps to climb, and the last leg is definitely the steepest. So I got just about everything up here. So these pieces here, we're gonna straddle those over the roof. I'm gonna put one out, and I'm gonna take my dimensions off of that, and basically I'm gonna get one, and then I'm gonna get the other stretched out, and then I'll have a platform to walk on. And before I do go out, I got some gear over here. I'm going to be setting that up and making sure I'm secure just in case of a fall. Now the way fall arrest gear works, even when you have it on, you really don't want to fall. It doesn't stop you from getting injured. You know, there's the possibility of you know, just getting injured before it catches you. You know, obviously you can hit yourself and all sorts of things. It's also that it's a shock absorber with the lanyard, but as much as it does absorb shock, it doesn't always absorb all of it. So lanyards, if I recall, I think they're rated to they're rated to absorb a blow at 600 pounds. There's some stitching on it, and I suppose I could pick one up and show you. So on here, this stitching, I'm pretty sure it's 600 pounds. I could be wrong about that, because let's say you're 200 pounds, you fall about 6 feet, the length of this lanyard, it's more than 600 pounds worth of force, and that'll cause that to give. And then you get hit twice on the way down. But it's basically two small hits rather than one really big one, which can really, really hurt you. The other thing is the harness itself. If you get caught, it catches you on your back and you essentially dangle. Now if you dangle for a long time before you could be brought down, because you almost always need help to get down if you've been caught by fall arrest gear. By the time you get down, you have to be laid down right away. Otherwise the circulation in your legs gets cut off. And if you try standing too quick, all the blood racing back from your leg can cause you to, I forget what it is, but a stroke? I don't know. Either way, it's bad and it can kill you. So you got to be very careful, not just working at heights, but making sure you're utilizing the fall rest gear properly. So when possible, it's always nice to make sure your anchor point is above you. If it's below you, you're definitely falling further. It will be below me when I get to the top, but there's nothing to anchor to up there. So I'm just getting it up as far as I can. Get the harness on. I'm not sure if I got the one that's fitted for me. I just grabbed the nicest looking one. I think a much larger person was wearing it last. We'll see. Pull this up. Second it grabs like that, it's tight. Alright, out we go. So I'm officially outside, but I have a very major problem. There is a lot of wasps up there, and these things are huge. They are very well established. That's an issue. So I'm going to finish getting that plank out I'm gonna set up to it, but I'm gonna have to put something up there to destroy that nest, or I can't do it. So I was right, this is definitely the wild card. There are hundreds of those wasps there. I'm gonna build this one right here, and then I'm gonna shimmy it all over. Alright, but I should pre-build the first part inside. I'll do that. And these are structural lag screws I'm using, so they're very, very robust for this. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty solid platform for me. Ooh. A sec. Oh, now that I can cozy up here, I'm going to give you a close-up. Look at all those. They're like 3/4 to an inch long. They're huge. You know what? I'm going to tackle this first thing in the morning and they'll all be asleep. Alright, so usually I'm not this relieved to get off the roof, but those wasps were really hitting me. They were just running into me. They weren't stinging, thank goodness. I feel like they might have actually hurt. So yeah, we're back down and we're going to look into some of the other work we're doing. So the big job down here, this is a giant hangar door and it has to be trimmed out. So I got some details on that. I gotta hunt those down, but to my knowledge it's supposed to be 4 squares and we're gonna have a 1/4 inch gap between the squares and a cross pattern in each. So that'll be a nice little facade. It's not anything holding back water. It should actually be a relatively easy job. The biggest job in this is actually just going to be chalking everything out. So I'm thinking I might tackle chalking it out today. And the other thing I'm going to want to tackle, just so I can get my filler to dry before I go to finish it, whoever sided this, they didn't do weather cuts. You always want to do weather cuts on things like batten strips. Any vertical trim should have that angle cut, mostly for the purpose of shedding water out. So even if you do it, if you angle it up, it's still wrong. It should always be angled down to shed water away. So we got gaps. Now, the gaps almost look intentional. If you were dealing with, say, a composite like LP Smart Side or wood or things like that, you're supposed to leave gaps, and usually 3/16, and you're supposed to caulk the gaps, and it's a bit of a process. I don't particularly like that. I'm not that picky, I'll install it, but I don't particularly like it. Appearance-wise, it's not that great. when you're dealing with hardy or fiber cement in general, the motion is extremely minimal. So as a rule, you're allowed to make contact. You're allowed to make contact anywhere, but it should not be so tight that you have to shove it in or pound it or anything like that. So that's the only real space requirement there. And then the other space requirement would be not so much for the siding related to motion, but more for the caulking. When you're matching siding up to trim and you've got a caulk joint here, you want to leave about 1/8 of an inch gap there. That's kind of the ideal. 1/8 of an inch, 3/16, somewhere around there. And all that does is it allows the caulk to get in somewhere, and it gives it a little more bite. Allows it to adhere better to the surface and keeps better. So I'm going to set this filler and do the chalk lines in the door, and that's probably going to take up the rest of the day here. Let's get it done. So I'm back in up here. It's not that early, but I'm I'm gonna head out and see what it looks like, and if I can set up, I'll do it, because I mean it's such a quick little job, and I want to get this platform off the roof now. So see what happens. As soon as they get up there, they get real active. Yeah, I'll have to do it like early morning, actual early morning. It's a bit loud down here. They got some welding going on inside, so their generator welder's running. But that's all right. It's pretty much all going to be time-lapse anyway. So we're going to get started on the trip. All right, so we're back. It's earlier. The bees are still out a bit, so compliment to the homeowner here. She happens to do beekeeping, so she lent me the beekeeping hat and gloves. So I'm going to be putting those on. If I could work with a little bit more confidence up there, it's always safer. So we're going to get that on. We're going to harness up, and we're going to head up. Should just be a quick, easy job once I'm up there. And naturally, I would forget to move the camera for that part. There it is. Take you up once. Have a good look at the view up there. So I'm going to get this stuff down. I got one more thing to do up here while I got the platform set up, and then I'm down. Alright, so I'm waiting for one part to show up. I got to put a boot on the roof to put the exhaust vent for the furnace out. So while that's coming in, I'm going to work on the trim. I want to get that up before taking the platform down, because once again, you know, that's just going to help me get the job done a little bit safer. So let's continue on where we left off.